Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Dr. Besma Allagui, Associate Professor from Rabdan Academy, Abu Dhabi. I hope you've been enjoying listening to the presentations since this morning. They were all language learning focused, but mine is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to focus on research. So my title is AI-based literature review tools. So we're gonna cover what's a literature review. I'm going to draw some distinctions between general chatbots and AI-based literature review tools. And then we'll discuss some capabilities and limitations of AIs, and I'll end up with some recommendations. So I think it's basically for researchers, but it can appeal to any language teacher who teaches synthesis writing or literature reviews or any type of integrated writing. So what's a literature review? Okay, so let you think about it. A literature review is not just a summary of sources. In the literature review, you have to integrate different sources. You have to synthesize multiple opinions. You have to identify themes. You have to find out gaps. I can hear echo of my voice. I don't want to hear my voice.
Wait.
Marlowe, can you mute yourself? If everyone could mute themselves, that might get rid of the echo.
Yeah. Sorry. I have left.
It's okay. It could be Susan as well. Anyone who's not muted. I'll mute myself as well in a minute. Thank you.
Okay, good. So in the literature, it's fine. So in the literature review, you have to find out the gaps. You have to find out the disagreement between authors, and you have to talk about the methodology. You critically reflect on the nature and quality of the literature, and you draw conclusions. So as you can see, there are some higher order critical thinking skills. So can AI do any of this? Okay. I remember in the past, like before the inception of AI, when we used to create our literature review, it was so time consuming. We have to manually search through, different databases, and it can take so much time. You have to use keywords. And according to some research, it takes about 15 months to complete a systematic literature review. And by the time it is completed, then the literature becomes outdated. So it's no use. And now we have a lot of AI tools that can help us to, automate several steps of this process. We can use AI to develop a search strategy or to locate the different sources. You can just use it to exclude and include sources. You can extract information, and you can even ask AI to draft some summaries or to, help you in revising the manuscript. Editing is so nice, like to have something to assist you with this, because it's so, time consuming, as I said before. And I think you all agree with me that in that part, AI is very helpful. In fact, there's a lot of research now completed with the support of AI. More and more research uses several AI tools. According to recent studies, 2024, about around 1 million paper published between January 2020 and February 2024 used words or adjectives that are used more frequently by AI. And those are especially in computer science, like 17.5% of computer science papers. That's quite a lot. Okay, so what tools are researchers use it to create their literature review? Basically, um, as you know, we have the general and those that also combine the deep search chatbots. You're familiar with most of them, I guess. Claude, Gemini, Poe, the most popular ChatGPT or DeepSeek. So all those can help in brainstorming research questions. They can help in summarizing articles. And there are also AI-based literature review tools, and these can be classified into two categories. Those that use citation mapping tools like Insightful and Litmap. So they basically show you which article is cited by how many authors, etc. So it creates a map of the literature. And there are the academic search engine-based tools like Consensus, Licit, Luminar, Open Scholar. So it's a lot of them. There's a burgeoning of those AI-based tools. They are specialized tools. They are just for research, and they use real research, unlike the general chatbots, which can create fake sources. Traditional databases like Scopus, Web of Science, and others are also integrating AI features into their websites. So what does research say about the quality of the literature reviews generated by these tools? Recent article shows that, for example, ChatGPT can write good summaries, relevant and accurate, and it was better than, for example, literature.com, but still it required human validation. Another article showed that ChatGPT was excellent in filtering and categorizing articles and sorting them into groups. And in fact, the error was only 12%. So 88% of the sorting of classification of articles was accurate. But ChatGPT was not really useful for extracting data from the sources. So that means there's still limitation. Another article also about ChatGPT reached the same conclusion. So they warned against the use of ChatGPT to, draw, conclusions from research. Another one also. So a lot of them. So I just selected, a couple of articles. Is there better hope with the AI-based literature tools since they are specialized and they are designed for literature review? So some of them are useful for specific tasks because there is currently no tool that can do all the tasks for the literature review. So for example, according to this recent research, LitSuggest was useful for data searching. Ryan was suitable for screening titles and abstracts, but still we cannot trust AI literature-based reviews, and this is according to AI developers. So most of these tools reviewed by authors were good at abstract screening, but data extraction is still an active area. So researchers and AI developers need to find new tools to semi-automate different steps of evidence synthesis via machine learning. Okay, so that's something technical, and I'm not really expert at AI. So I wanted just to know if I can use AI to, get an overview of a certain research topic, and if I can allow my students in my research methodology class to use AI tools and trust their content. So my question was, are they good at telling the story? So I asked this question, and I chose this question because it's, feedback is a well-documented topic. I mean, teacher-written feedback it's a well documented topic, and it's also very controversial because some people or some researchers think that teacher feedback is positive, others have found contradictory results. So I thought, okay, I was curious, and I thought maybe I can ask some, AI tools to check the answer to this question, to give me an overview of this question. So the battle was between science-based, illicit, consensus, and undermined. And I've chosen these because they all have something in common. They all use semantic scholar data, and they can provide summary plus plus real citations. So SciSpace basically summarizes articles, uses citation, paraphrases, AI detection, etc. Illicit can find papers and can get the research report. And you can also upload an article to Illicit, and then you can chat with Illicit. So Illicit can extract data. You can list concepts. Consensus also summarizes articles and provides yes/no answers with statistics about how often the article was cited, etc. Undermine is also a chat-based search, and it has the option to do a deep search. It generates summaries and organized reports. So here is what I found out. Why, according to Illicit, so there is a summary, as you can see, with 4 papers, but if you subscribe, you can get a summary of 8 papers. And then you get a table with several columns that you can manage. You can add finding, you can add the methodology, intervention, etc. So as you can see from the summary, there is actually very positive appraisal of feedback. So Illicit is very positive about feedback, teacher written feedback. But it provided a longer summary than consensus. So consensus, for example, provided more concise summary. There's no reference to sources in the summary, unlike Illicit, but there's a bullet list. So it's a little bit structured with, headings and subheadings, and then reference to the papers. So unlike Illicit, consensus acknowledged that feedback depends on certain factors such as feedback type, student proficiency, and the student-teacher relationship. Okay, so this is the result from SciSpace. So SciSpace also provides answers from top 5 papers, but if you subscribe, you can get, I think, 10 more. So it's also very positive about feedback. It doesn't mention any negative, areas or any aspects that need further research. It just lists the different forms and types, and then written corrective feedback, diverse learner responses. Okay, so the next one is the report by Undermined. So Undermined took more time to provide the report, but as you can see, the summary is very brief. The overall summary is very brief. It doesn't mention any negative aspects, and it presents all the key findings with several articles, more than the other 3 research tools. Okay, in terms of currency, author expertise, and diversity, it appears that Illicit has, Undermined has a broader range. All sources were between 2009 to 2024, and like SciSpace, for example, and Illicit. Okay, that's in terms of currency. In terms of author expertise, as you can see from the table, like some journal were from unknown, journal articles could be even from predatory journals. There was one published in a predatory journal, not from reputable journals, except for undermined the citation, that like not highly cited sources. Illicit had a citation range between 214 and 0, similar to undermined. Now, when I looked at the geographical distribution of those articles, I found that they all come from Asian countries. There were no American countries, no European, no Arab countries, although there's research conducted in those areas. The type of the study, 85, the majority were empirical, let's just say pre and post design. And for the educational context, most were from university context, no, high school context. I mean, the student population here, I'm talking about the student population. Okay, so that was the answer provided by the 4 tools to my research question, the research I asked. So definitely, as you can see, there are limitations. The first one is the risk of generating biased or incorrect content. This is very harmful for research because it can direct your literature review. It can take you in a, in what they want you to write. So they can change your argument, okay? The other major limitation, and of course, incorrect content, that's to say, I found out, for example, that the summary provided by illicit does not match the abstract. The data is not totally accurate, so you need to check. The second limitation was about the surface level summaries. So I cannot read those summaries and then develop an idea about teacher feedback from those surface level summaries because there's no connection between studies. It's very superficial. It lacks depth. So then we can go back to our first question that I asked in the beginning of this presentation, that can AI complete any of the tasks for the literature review? Yes, it can, but it cannot do the analysis, the critical thinking, the reflection, find a connection between studies. So my final recommendations based on, of course, this limited study, I know this is quite limited. I used just one prompt. I didn't prompt AI further. This is, I could have said, okay, find some articles located in different geographical areas, or I could have mentioned the type of studies I wanted. I wanted, for example, more literature review based sources or whatever, but that was intentional because I wanted to see if a student, for example, in my introduction to research class with no experience would be able to, get the correct answer. So I love to restate this adage, which is AI won't take your job, but someone using it will. That's to say, we need to change the skills to conduct research. Now it's more about creating prompts, creating good prompts, okay? It's because the more you prompt AI, the better you use it, the better results you get. So this is something really important that we need to teach our kids, our students. Also, I believe that the major takeaway from interacting with 4 AI research tool is respect and suspect. We respect AI, we use the sources, but we also suspect them. We have to evaluate every piece of information. And so far, even if AI includes a lot of references, a lot of sources, but it cannot be a source of knowledge. You cannot just rely on AI. You are the source of knowledge. So you have to learn how to use AI. By you, I mean researchers and students. Okay, so I think that's it. These are my references, and that's my e-card. Thank you for your attention.